Alrighty. Welcome to Division 3 in our 5th round of Season 10. This is our 3rd random Grand Prix of this weekend. Division 3 rolled Azerbaijan. Be going through this. I have no audio. We'll be going through this Azerbaijan Grand Prix with a short qualifying session, followed by a sprint, 9 laps, a 26 lap, 25 lap race around the streets of Baku. This has been a much maligned track in this year's game. However, and for that reason, we have not put it as a guaranteed track on our schedule, but it has been in our random Grand Prix track pool. So here it is in our final random Grand Prix of this game. We have got it, so the gods have spoken. 16 minutes left in our session. We are a couple minutes in. Everyone getting set for their first qualifying attempt here in Division 3. As we kind of watch people go around the track on their outlap, we have, pull up track map here. Looks like we have B-Boy Sim by Aaron Green on his first push attempt. And as he goes around, we're going to take a look at our current standing. Button? That's our current standing. Mr. Joel Guron, who is at the moment absent, but he has been known to join mid-qualifying session. He is currently our championship leader, followed closely by Avira. Rigraff, not too far behind him. His podium last week definitely put him back in the fight for this championship battle. Kiwi, so relatively in the championship battle at the end of our first half of our season here with round 5. Kind of a surprise this season with 2 podiums already. Stars with another podium, or excuse me, with a single podium. So far, a really good season for these guys. And Campbell Lowry Hart in our Ferrari. Race winner at Spain a few weeks back. Had a really close to getting back on the podium again at Vegas last week. But Kiwi beat him right at the line. Mercedes actually spawned. Maybe curious who that is. Load or if they spawn. Like no damage on that Mercedes. Oh, went into the runoff. I'm not sure what he's doing. Served tonight for Mercedes, Alex Carugoat. I believe this is his first Division 3 race, so a nice opportunity for him to show what he's capable of. And as we do have an open seat in Division 3 right now, potentially, scoreboard off of it, or get the standings off there. Alex Carugoat may have an opportunity to show that he is capable for that empty McLaren seat that we have. Moment. So B-Boy Simba, Aaron Green finishes his first attempt with a 42.6. So again, with no one else doing this track this weekend, we have basically no reference. So we're kind of going in blind on these times. This is the first time we've run it on this game. So again, completely blind in terms of track times. Outside of what we see in time trial and whatever other people have done in any race. I have not even done a race on this game, so but this will be, we'll just have to wait and see. So with Kagenis putting a 42 flat, we may be looking at something close to 40-second lap time as our pole. We still have yet to see Avira set a time, I believe, on a push lap right now as he comes through this castle sector. Is so usually making purple sectors. I have a purple first sector. Nadewell actually has the purple sector right now, and he's on his way to finish his first lap time. Nadewell goes on a 41.9, so a little bit of more than a tenth faster than Kagenis at the moment. Avira, again, no purple sector 2. I'm not sure. I think OG actually holds the fastest Sector 2 at the moment. I'm sorry, no, Nadewell does that. Let's see, what does Zavira do on his first push attempt here? Puts him into P3, 42.4. So again, with these random races, we only announce the track, the current rules right now, we announce the track 2 hours before race time. So we'll have only 2 hours, or a little less than 2 hours, excuse me, to kind of put in a few laps, get a setup going. So these races can be very unpredictable. And just a heads up, we will be restarting the session after the sprint race, just to ensure lobby stability. And I'm sure Garrett remembers that he, as we just spoke before the race, he has accrued enough points to have a qualifying ban, so if he sets a lap time, definitely be negative repercussions. A lot of slow flags behind him. Curious if Snoop Francis is just letting people by, or if he's out of fuel. Snoop Francis is completely out of fuel, so to have the long trek back at 20 miles an hour trying to get back to the pit lane. He may be stuck here for the rest of the session. Ratty here. Garrett into the pit lane just to an outlap to make sure his stuff is correct. That is allowed when you have a qualifying ban, as long as you don't set a time. Don't do more than one outlap, you're okay. Pratty on his first push attempt here, 36.9. That puts him well behind, or excuse me, 36.2 was McGinnis, so he's a little bit behind. Purple Sector 2 showing on the mini-map, but about 0.2 slower than the actual Purple Sector 2 time that I'm showing on my leaderboard. This time finishes his lap. I'm gonna see. Invite sent, Joel. I'll see another one if you need. Pratty goes into P6. Okay, so Ferraris right next to each other, but a lot of time to gain right now. And again, everyone's first lap, so everyone should have enough time to do 3 push attempts. Anyone else needs an invite back to the lobby, I will be more than happy to do that. Still need to beat him. So curious, so Snoop Francis able to get back into the pit, even with that low fuel Kiwi on it. First push attempt here. Quite late in the session, so I'm assuming some people... Oh, and as actually, looking at our sector times here, Dirt Shark with the purple sector 1 and 2, well up on his time, almost 2 seconds slower than Nadewell at currently in provisional pole, so this should put him on provisional pole once he crosses this line. As I say that, Kiwi actually beats his Sector 2, so Dirt Shark beats Nadewell by 0.5, but Kiwi, like I said, he just set a purple Sector 2, although his Sector 1 was quite a bit slower, but let's see where this puts him. Kiwi puts him up into provisionally into second place, so fantastic start to qualifying for Kiwi and Dirt Shark. Dirt Shark clearing the field by quite a bit, so I think it's safe to assume that a lot of these times are going to drop quite a bit as we go through the rest of this session. Chonk, attempt here. Well, I guess he is on an attempt, just with no battery, so I'm not sure how that will go for him. Pratty invalidated his attempt. Now, Alex Carugo, I believe, on his first valid push lap so far is so good for him. Actually seeing purple sector 1 for him, so we may be seeing another reserve close to the top of the grid here. And that shows purple there, but it's not actually purple, it's close. Well, about 3/10 away from purple sector 2. But with the purple sector 1, that may mean he's running quite a bit of, maybe running quite low wings. So let's see his top speed, and let's see where this puts him in our order. Top speed is going to be about 212 as he crosses the line, and he goes into provisional P2, so just in front of Kiwi by just less than a tenth. Dirt Shark up still by about 3/10. We still have a lot of people, a lot of pace to find, and we have Kagenis here. 36-1 on his first sector here. 41-1, so very fast sector 2. 2/10 off of Alex Krugoat's fastest sector 1. So let's see. This should be an improvement for him, unless I missed the interval. Let's see. We saw Alex Krugoat with a 212 top speed right at the line, a little bit slower for Kagenis, but it puts him just 200s behind Alex Krugoat. So Kagenis and Haas looking really solid so far in qualifying in our random Grand Prix. We have Avira pushing 35.8 in his first sector. Yellow flags in front of him. Looks like his teammate may be prepping to a bit of a tow here. Let's see what he's trying to do. Going slow. Oh, he's in low fuel mode. He just has no fuel. Tow is going to be a little bit difficult for him, but he's approaching this sector 3 line right up here. Let's see where this puts him. Avira with the fastest purple sector with a 40.708. So we're looking at something maybe potentially challenging Dirt Shark for provisional P1. Be careful here since his teammate has no fuel. Looking at, let's see, the 209, 210, 211, just under 212, so 41 flat. So smashes Dirt Shark's time by another 4/10. So like I said, these times dropping. Have Madewell on an invalid lap. We have OG pushing. No, looks like he just set his second time. Stars putting himself in a P7 with a 41.9. So about half the grid moving into the 41s here. And the OG 42.2. I believe we saw. Still have Joel, who is again our current championship leader. Now he is at a little bit of a disadvantage here, as he, for these random tracks in particular, as I believe he basically runs home from work and hops in late with us. So interesting to see what he can do without any practice. Stars low on fuel. Start not pushing. Etrusy maybe. Etrusy lap. Goldie on his way back into the pits. How about for one moment? OBS off of all of my telemetry here so I can see what's what with everyone. Go through. Stars, I believe, should be coming in, so we should have Joel on his first push attempt with, oh no, Joel right back into the pits, so Joel electing to bring it back in and then give it one final go for the end of the session. A little bit there from Mercedes, but 3 minutes ago in the session. A lot of time for a lot of these people. Lokesh out here with a 49. Snoop Francis already out on track. He'll be the first one to begin his final attempt here. Over 3.5 seconds slower than our current provisional pole set by Avira. For a lot of time to gain most of these people. right on board. Snoop is way out in front of most people, so he's going to run into a little bit of traffic coming out of the pits here. Beat him too much, but we'll keep an eye on him for now, as we have most people on the grid on outlaps. Right on board with him. Goes through these first 2 sectors. So the traction control there. Let's see, of course, Snoop Francis. Medium traction control is allowed here, so very shaky that mid corner part of that. Doesn't ride the car very wide, so losing a little bit of time on exit. Very hesitant going through these corners, so time that Snoop currently has does make sense, but he is currently 4/10 off of Avira's, excuse me, he is about 8/10 off of current fastest first sector set by Alex Carugo. See, there's a couple of corners left, and then he'll cross that sector 3 line. We'll see that interval, and then we'll ride on board with, I believe, Nadewell, who is on his attempt behind him. I think Nadewell may have actually run into some traffic. You see Delta for Nadewell there. He is a little bit slower than his previous time. Where is Avira? Avira is 8 seconds away from the end of session. Will he make the line? He should. 3, 2. He's not going to make it. So Avira doesn't get to set a final attempt. He goes crashing into the wall. So Avira on provisional pole. Dirt Shark here. 2.3 seconds. Okay, that's not right. The Dirt Shark, who is currently in 2nd place, is currently pushing. I believe that is Nadewell finishing his lap. Where does this put him? 41.3. That puts him in a provisional P2, but Dirt Shark is on a lap right now. A little bit slower than Nadewell was on his lap there. Alex Carugo going to finish his lap, 7/10 up. So that puts Alex Carugo into P1. The 1-2 for Mercedes at the current moment. But again, Dirt Shark and Kaganis are pushing. Kaganis is actually up on Dirt Shark's time by 2/10. Chonk goes into provisional pole. Chonk, oh my goodness, 41 flat for Chonk by 10,000. But where we are with Nadewell, who has retired, Dirt Shark, I'm sorry, Kaganis is going to cross the line next. Where is he? Kaganis puts himself, doesn't actually improve there, but Dirt Shark, a really big toe here from this Alpine. What? Is this an AI from this Alpine? No, this is Lokesh just trying to finish his lap. What an insane toe. Where does this put him? Oh, it puts him into P4. I think that actually saved his lap a little bit. That was an insane toe from Lokesh for Dirt Shark. But look at that. Chonk is on pole going into our sprint race over Alex Carugo. And that does it for our qualifying session. Our championship leader, Joel Guron, qualified 11th. But that was an exciting end to our qualifying there. Kind of, like I said, really unpredictable. Less than a 10th between the top 4. So, very spicy qualifying. This does put Avira in a solid spot to score some nice points in this sprint. As again, Joel will be starting outside of the points for our sprint. As we load into this, I'm going to go over buttons. Controller got unplugged, so I can't. I was yesterday. Tab through my likes to minimize if you tab out, so pause menu, I don't know, just those things go weird. And so again, Chonk leading us, followed by Alex Carugo, and Joel has left the session. So hopefully we get him back. I'm not sure what is. Couple of minutes. Again, this is rain. I actually forgot to look at the weather, but yeah, it is. We are in. It is for our sprint race. This is gonna tab out for one. Right, Joel. Body into. We're getting ready to go. I'm sure if Joel got back in the session. We're on the grid and the lights are going. Drive-through penalty. Hetrasy actually gets a jump start. I believe we were on intermediate conditions. I don't see any standing water, but Chonk holding position in P1 for now. A little bit slow on corner exit. People going off track, going a little bit deep towards the back, but so far no one's gone bowling yet. Somebody, Alex Karuga, I believe, really sending it into Chonk there. Avira, weird exit there, losing a few positions, but Chonk is holding that P1 with a lot of pressure from Dirt Shark now. A lot of stuff happening back here. Hetrasy again with the drive-through penalty, jumping the start. Back up towards the front. Chonk actually having a really bad exit. Going through, I believe, turn 4. And now Dirt Shark has taken the lead of the sprint race. Puts Kiwi up into P3. Avira actually falling even further back, so down to P6 for Avira. Joel's AI, I think Joel finally took control of his car, but his AI put him up to P7. All of that stuff. Snoop Francis putting himself up into P8, so a lot of stuff happening back here towards the back. We'll kind of cycle through and see if going to the wall. I don't see anyone, and we actually have a few people with damage. Pratty and Hetrasy. Snoop Francis just lost his entire front wing. Oh yeah, a lot of people with damage. We do have a VSC. Snoop Francis crashing into the back of Garrett Elder because he has no front wing. We're having to slow up a little bit, but Dirt Shark with current solid lead right now. Looks like he's doing the best in the wet conditions right now. Both the Mercedes having a little bit of struggle at the start. We had Avira kind of, I think, maybe had contact with somebody, caused him to a few positions. Wish we had a little bit of a timer on the VSC. We're just kind of randomly see that it's in. Again, everyone on these intermediate tires. Let's take a look. VSC still out right now. Nobody deciding to pit. Again, we have quite a few people with damage. Again, Snoop Francis, no front wing. Pratty with a little bit of wing damage. Hetrasy with wing damage and a drive-through penalty. And the VSC is ending now. Dirt Shark jumped there. Over 2 seconds to Chonk behind him. Kiwi is in a position to maybe look for a move. Actually, no. Alex Karugo getting a nice jump on Kiwi here. Another yellow flag. That's another VSC, so it looks like maybe OG went off track there because now OG has no front wing. Snoop Francis did not. Snoop Francis is in the pit, so OG. No, OG has no wing damage. Hetrasy deciding not to pit before, but goes back into has another incident and loses more of his front wings. Still has a drive through and still has to fix that front wing. Goldie has decided to pit, and he must have had wing damage as well. But VSC is out. Safety cars on the track, and it says virtual safety car. Is that a safety car? Okay, my UI is bugged. It says virtual safety car, but my telemetry says safety car. So this is a full safety car now. So Hetrasy, not having served his drive-through, will have to serve the drive-through after pitting for a fresh wing. Something. kind of in the mud right now for the sprint race. So now it'll be interesting to see move this from position change. See a lot of people moving around. So Lokesh in the top 10 right now. Garrett Elder with a quality ban all the way up to P8 already, but now we're behind a safety car, so it'll be who decides to pit. Tire advantage, tire difference can change or can be really big on these wet tires as they wear quite quickly. This is one of those tracks where the rear wear brutal, but just having a few extra percentage or some extra lap or so of better tires can make a big difference. Let's see, we have Dirt Shark. Looks like he's gonna bypass the pit lane here. From pole, Tonk staying out. Kiwi staying out. Looks like Alex Kruger has decided to pit. Vera is staying out. Ennis is staying out. It looks like most people are staying out. Garrett Elder well behind. Like Lokesh is going into the pit lane here. As he does have a little bit of wing damage, so he will be replacing this front wing. Staying out for now. But with how spread out the grid is, it's possible we don't see a restart until the end of 4, end of 5s. Slow sprint race because of this weather. Actually, towards the front, Chonk is actually driving with a broken wing, so I don't know if he just got that now behind the safety car, or if he carrying it since before it came out. I don't think he had the damage. I'm curious if I just missed having a bit of a collision with somebody. A little bit of a wall tapping. Still split up. Person with wing damage right now, like I said, is Chong. 15% is quite a solid amount, so it'll definitely impact his ability to fight Dirt Shark here. Safety car will not go in this lap. Again, likely end of 4. Hopefully Chonk decides to pit and just... Oh, well, we'll see. Maybe he can drive with it. 15% wing damage for Chonk. Again. We have Petrosy with his drive-through penalty. Brand new front wing on that car. The back. Good. Pratty just took control of his car. So looking at these tires, towards the front we have Alex Carugo, surrounded by a lot of people with a couple lap old tires. Looking at that tire wear difference, Alex Carugo's telemetry is not on, so I cannot see his tire wear. To give him about a 3 or 4% advantage at the moment, or when we restart this race. Give him maybe a lap or so of fresher tires. Probably at the end of this lap is when the safety cars should come in. Give us 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll have 5 laps of racing when we start this race. Ratty actually tired, so I'm assuming he is complained of some issues with his game constantly crashing. It's possible when he tried his game crashed or disconnected. Join, we just got that stupid retirement bug. Ratty is done for now with the sprint. Start 15th on the grid for our featured race. Safety car in this lap, led by Dirt Shark. Bit of a tire wear update here. Madewell, who did pit behind the safety car, is sitting around 4.3%, whereas Dirt Shark is just under 9.5%. Gives you a good idea of the tire difference. Not a huge amount, but it's about, I would imagine, about a lap or so tire wear different. The Lokesh, who got disqualified for some reason, and Roldy, who leave. But here we go. His teammate Dirt Shark is restarting this race, and actually Chonk getting a really big jump on him, overtaking him, potentially going into turn 1 here. So Dirt Shark starting that race a little bit too soon, but they're sticking it side by side on these intermediate tires through this first couple of corners. Uh-oh. Ooh, Chong, that wing. Oh no! Ooh, big moment for Chong there, clipping into some other people. Chong falling all the way down from potentially being in P1 to falling down to P6. Back up in front, we have Avira. Big slide for Avira. McGinnis actually falling out of order there. Joel actually, big center on Avira going into the wall. Joel somehow has no front wing damage, so yellow flag. I think that's Kagenis back there. Something happened, I believe, with him and Avira. But Dirt Shark, nice comfortable position there after being challenged by Chonk at that safety car restart. Man, Kagenis really struggling to get that car turned around. So far, still green flags. Joel close behind Chonk again. Remember, Chonk has a little bit of wing damage that may have contributed to him losing out on the battle. Hit Dirt Shark in the opening stages of this lap, but all these battles, all these sins, creating quite a few gaps in this top 7 or so. Garrett Elder close behind Aaron Green in this AlphaTauri. Yellow flag, I believe that's Kagenis again. Thrown well in the back. There with a big run on Aaron Green here, having to lift a little bit. Big thud on the wall from Garrett. And no wing damage for him. Dirt Shark running away with the sprint right now. Garrett going to try to make a move on Aaron Green going into turn 1 here. Side by side through turn 1. We'll try to give it the best angle we possibly can. I think in front of them we have a battle between Alex Carugo and Joel. Racing there. Joel right behind Chonk. Again, Chonk driving with that broken wing. Francis actually crashing somewhere towards the back, losing his entire front wing. This causes a VSC, which is going to cancel out this battle between Joel and Alex Carugo. But Joel taking the position there. Garrett actually did get in front of Aaron Green before this came out. So, a lot of time, or a big gap between Garrett and P6 of Alex Carugo. But right now, Dirt Shark 3 seconds in the lead, according to about 2 seconds in the lead. Times a little bit weird behind the VSC as people play around with their deltas. We're right on board with Dirt Shark 4 now. So back towards the back, Stu Francis running into the wall and no front wing for the second time this race. Right now he's the only person with wing damage other than Chonk, who's driving with a little bit. Not so much that it's completely ruining his race, as he is still fighting for P4. Looks like the VSC ended, so kind of a big jump from Dirt Shark there, kind of growing that gap by a few tenths. Chonk actually under threat of Joel here. Seen Chonk one lap ago. Oh, Chonk back into the wall. More wing damage, so 26 on his front right now. So Joel should have a really good opportunity to overtake him here. Alex Krugo kind of is still in this battle too, so be a battle for P4 right now. Avira well out in front of them. Oh, is that a big moment for Joel? Joel goes flying into the wall. But again, no damage for Joel, but he does lose a position to Alex Krugo. So now Chonk is safely in P4 for the time being. Avira looking to close that gap to Kiwi in P2. The Dirt Shark looks like, unless he makes a big error in the last 2.5 laps here, he's going to win the sprint race. Looks like we have another battle between Joel and Alex Krugo. A little bit of contact, but Alex Krugo holding onto that position. Garrett still battling with Aaron Green back here, about 1.7 seconds from this battle with Joel and Alex Krugo. Actually, Alex Krugo overtaking Joel, and we have that Stars back here going into the runoff at turn 2, so going to hurt his race quite a bit as he falls all the way to the back. Dirt Shark 3 seconds in the lead. Chonk about a second ahead of Alex Krugo. Joel actually losing a lot of time somewhere in that. Over a second now behind Alex Krugo, driving with traction control. So we all caught you on stream, Joel, for switching to traction control. So for shame, Joel, for shame. Everyone give him shame on Joel. Everyone make sure you at him in general chat. Now, oh, what did I just see? Did we just see Alex almost crash into the back of Chonk, but still going. Alex also using traction control. It's Garrett using traction control. Like a big slide from Joel there in front of him. Snoop Francis, I believe, coming out of the pit lane there. Dirt Shark well in front. Kiwi and Avira are going to be battling for P2 time in the next couple of laps. Chonk going back into the wall again. Somehow doesn't add more damage to his car there, but Alex Krugo taking advantage of that crippled Haas and getting back into P4. Joel actually struggling a lot. Garrett Elder really close behind him as we go into the fast sector 3 towards the end of lap 7. Dirt Shark setting the fastest lap, just absolutely smoking everyone right now. Back here, Nadewell, OG, and Aaron Green in a little bit of a battle for P8. Big sin from Nadewell, not necessarily big sin, but Nadewell looking to make a move here. He's going to get the move done going into turn 1. Ooh, a bit of a lockup looked like there. But he's able to make that move stick. 2 seconds behind Joel and Garrett for P6 and 7. Chonk still in front of everyone, or still in front of Joel. Alex Krugo kind of building quite a big gap between him and Chonk. Avira in our championship. Gotta make a move on Kiwi at some point. Back here behind Chonk. Chonk just have to, yes, aggressive on the defense as he can. So remember, he has wing damage. The cars behind him do not. So it's going to be a challenge. Look at him going very, very defensive into this slow castle section. Joel being really patient. No way Joel can make an overtake here, right? Chonk having to go defensive again. Very, very slow to this castle section. You can see that delta just flying up between Chonk and Alex Krugo. Basically 3 seconds. He's basically backed everyone 3 seconds this lap. Nadewell now in this battle because Chonk is just driving with a broken front wing. Hetrosy, I think, actually, oh no, it's Stars, I believe, having more struggles as we see him wheel spin into the wall, but Chonk in a dangerous spot, being overtaken by several drivers here on this fast section. Well, right on board here with Garrett Elder. Let's see how this plays out as we go down this back straight towards turn 1. Again, it looks like he stopped on track in sector 3. Too late in the game to have any kind of safety car. Joel finally going for the move here on Chonk to beat him in the braking zone. Side by side into turn 1. Being racing there, a little bit of bumping. I think Garrett also trying to make a move on Chonk. Right on board with Chonk here. Garrett sending it down the inside into turn 2. Chonk getting through the corner. No dirty racing here, but Chonk holding the position so far. Now Nadewell kind of looking to make something happen. Garrett backing out. This should mean, oh, Chunk hits the wall and he spins. So Chunk, all of that defense through those last 2 laps, right when he gets into the slow sector, hits the wall and spins. Now this will give Garrett an opportunity to try to catch back up with Joel and maybe make a move on him. But back here towards the front, we do have Avira still behind Kiwi. Solid amount of battery for both of them, and it's so hard to use that at the right time, particularly at this track. Those fast S's at the beginning of that pit straight, so hard to nail when you have the battery on in the wet condition. Let's see, Avira really close to Kiwi. Oh, Dirt Shark going to win the sprint. Barring any kind of incident here, ahead by over 5.5 seconds. Avira actually losing a bit of time going through that corner at the lead up, or at the beginning of Sector 3, and now Kiwi has right the lead, almost 5/10. Dirt Shark wins the sprint, scoring his team 8 points there. Avira not able to get past Kiwi, but Alec Krugo sets the fastest lap of the sprint and secures P4 there. Chol actually 12 seconds behind. So Nadewell and Garrett actually side by side going towards this line, and that is going to be a 5-6 for Alfa Romeo. Garrett getting beat down that back straight. It's like OG close to getting in front of Aaron Green also, but very close. Honk. A lot of frustration in that race, having to drive with a broken wing for so long. 3 more cars coming around. Francis still technically on the lead lap, but just entering Sector 2. A while before he crosses the line. But that will do it for our sprint race. Dirt Shark has been absent for the last couple of races, showing up and showing up strong. Stu Francis with no front wing again. I believe Stars actually has no front wing again. So both of the Williams finishing the sprint race with 0 front wing. Ennis still has his front wing, at least. A little bit of pride for Haas there. Williams not having a lot of success in that wet sessions. Once New Francis crosses the line and we transition, we'll be remaking the lobby for the start of our main race. And again, dynamic weather, so we won't know what the weather will be until we get in the session. Right on board with Snoop here with no front wing. See if he has super top speed or what. 212, 213, 214, 215. 215 miles an hour he was at the line with no front wing, no DRS in the wet, so there we have it. Jared Alder, driver of the day, going from the back all the way up to P7. Solid race for him. Definitely a little bit more on the table for him there, as Nadewell beat him at the line after the sprint. So there's our points finishing position. The points that we score right now are the same as a sprint, so it's points, but it's not super significant. All right, guys, so we will be back once we remake the lobby for the sprints. Go anywhere. Alrighty, sorry about that delay, everyone. We're back. We did lose a couple of people from the race. We lost Roldy, who had to go. And the legend that is Big Fart 69. He had skill issues. He is unable to continue. So we will be restarting this race with 15 people. Again, we had Dirt Shark, Kiwi, and Avira as a top 3 in our sprint. But it's looking like it's going to be a dry race now. Race should be a little bit smoother, I would imagine. Azerbaijan is never a very fun race in the wet. We'll see again. Lobby remakes. Everyone has a fresh set of tires. So who knows what tire, what strategies we will see here. Hopefully everyone gets a setup. It is taking a solid amount of time for everyone to get going, which is good to see. Load up their setups. Here is our finishing order. Again, we had a couple of VSCs in the safety car. Intermediate conditions, 9-lap sprint race. It did take us quite a while to get through that. There, Alex Karugoat putting himself up in four. Not the best strats. Here we go. Kiwi and Dirt Shark starting side by side in our front row, and the lights are out, and okay, a little bit of a delay there, but we're going. Dirt Shark with a big start. Avira with a really big start also, actually getting in front of Kiwi. Let's take a look and see what kind of tires we're on. Everyone on mediums with a few on hards. Avira on those hards getting a really big start on Kiwi. Really big surprise there. A big send from Hetrasy back there. Did he get that move done? It looks like he did. Actually, Stars actually may have just been sent down to P12, or Garrett Elder back in P15. So, and then Garrett Elder into the runoff. So rough start for him. Dirt Shark still in the lead of this race, and that actually brings out a VSC with Garrett Elder trying to turn his car around in the runoff. Like Hetrasy actually lost his front wing, so something happened at some point. Hetrasy riding with no front wing now, so we do have a VSC, not a full safety car. May have been caused by Hetrasy. Honk almost. Hetrasy bumping into the back of Chonk there. Again, it's hitting the back of Hetrasy. Be a little bit of a challenge for Hetrasy to get back to the pit here, but the VSC will definitely make it a little bit easier. Pace is going to be slower. Garrett Elder well behind the next car. Took him a while to get out from behind or outside of that runoff area at turn, I believe, where he was. Some point in that scuffle we had in this first lap, Kiwi falling from P2 down to P5. We have Joel up into P4, our current championship leader, actually trailing Alex Karugoat now. The Mercedes on hard both on hards. Like the safety car VSC is ending, and Avira actually has a really good run on Dirt Shark here. A really big jump off that VSC. Plus Karugoat maybe making a move also. So we may be looking at a Mercedes 1-2 here in a moment. And there goes Dirt Shark into the pit lane. So they have come together there with Alex Karugoat as he's a little bit slow coming out of the corner. And Dirt Shark falls all the way down to P8 after restarting on that back straight from that VSC. So now Mercedes 1-2. Avira running off into the distance right now. 1.4 second to his teammate. as Joel looks to maybe potentially make a move on Alex here. Hetchercy and Garrett Elder in the pits now. Both of them with front wing damage. So we saw Hetchercy with no front wing. Garrett Elder replacing his front wing also. So there is an expectation of multiple, if at least one safety car, if not multiple safety cars at this track. Like I said, we did see 2 VSCs and a safety car in our 9-lap sprint race. So even though you're that far back, it's unlikely you'll be there for the entire duration of our race. Joel actually losing time to Alex Krugo while Avira is actually pulling away from his teammates. So big surprise for these hard runners, or for these medium runners, getting overtaken and potentially being outraced by these hard runners. Oh, Joel goes straight into the wall. I think he just forgot to brake. Does this bring out any kind of... No, nothing right now. He definitely has wing damage. So our championship leader just drives straight into the wall. And that puts Mercedes in a really nice place to score lots of points here. Avira leading the race by a solid amount. OG up into P3 now. Actually, keep getting overtaken again. So Avira setting the fastest lap of this race with a 45.7. OG has a little bit of work to do to catch up with Alex Krugo on these medium tires. Now Kiwi under threat from Nadewell. So maybe Kiwi was just a better position, or maybe more comfortable driving in that wet conditions compared to where he is in the dries now, because he's definitely struggling a little bit. Was in P2 at the start of this race. Back towards the front, Alex is actually catching his teammate here. Alex is a reserve. We may see him fight Avira. We'll see. A little bit of a train here for P3 is being led by Campbell Lowry Hart right now. Train goes all the way down to P8. All of these people are on medium, so a bit of a surprise that these medium runners are being outpaced this much by these hard runners. And actually Alex Krugo over here etching here. Did we just see somebody else go off there? One is still maintaining position in this train. Like I mentioned, OG is still losing time. Alex Krugo, who actually caught up with Avira and does have DRS. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys do here. Like, Alex Krugo is actually going to back out. You see him riding with his fuel light on, so Krugo did decide to under fuel. We'll swap of positions between our Williams back here, but both of them are well behind, not necessarily well behind, but a little bit behind this mid-pack train. OG re-overtaking Kiwi for position 3 here, but still a long way to go to catch back up with these Mercedes. The way it looks like Alex actually has more pace than Avira right now. But Avira still holding on to that lead. Pratty overtaking Stars. Wonder Stars having a bit of an issue here. An odd place to be overtaken by Pratty in the middle of this winding Sector 2 here at Baku. Go back towards turn 1. He has a really nice run already on OG, so he's going to get this move done and get in front. Now will Nadewell, there's a lot of battery dumping, and he's going to get in front of OG also, and he's going to get in front of Kiwi going into turn 1 here. as we saw with that double slipstream for Nadewell, that gap is now under 3 seconds, or around 3 seconds, to the Mercedes. Does Nadewell have the pace to pull this train back into this battle for the lead? Did see Vera and Alex Carugo kind of running away from them early stages of this race. Delta still pretty static. Right now we have, it looks like 4 or so trains here. 2 of them are really close together, but not necessarily a train yet. Small battle between Avira and Alex Carugo for P1. Nadewell leading the next train, and he is closing that distance to Avira, so half a tenth, or half a second already down with Alex Carugo. Still a long way to go. He's actually kind of breaking the toe to Kiwi, so Nadewell may be driving on his own in P3 here in a moment. OG actually under attack from Dirt Shark. Dirt Shark, who was in the lead of the race a little while ago, run into the pit lane, I think, at the end of lap 2 or 3. So going from the lead of the race down to P, I believe. A long way for him to battle back up towards the front. And now Alex Carugo taking the lead from Avira. Looks like they decided to go ahead and swap it up to see if Avira or Alex can pull Avira a little bit quicker than Avira is pulling him. Nadewell still pulling away from Kiwi in this second train here. Looks like he's going to have a 2.5 second gap to close on his own. Urchart struggling a little bit there also. He must have hit the wall because he is showing a little bit of wing damage now, so that would explain this time gap that has grown between him and OG. And Pratty and Snoop Francis going side by side. Like Pratty may have touched the wall, but sorry, not Snoop Francis, it was Stars that he was battling with just a moment ago. Stars sitting with a little bit of wing damage himself. Pratty getting that move done. Back up towards the front here, Avira and Alex Carugo still just sitting on their battery, just driving off into the distance. Nadewell's doing a solid job of keeping that Delta relatively static, but again, without DRS and with not a lot of battery, or excuse me, with not unlimited battery, quite the challenge for him to catch up with them just on his own, especially at this point in the race where his medium tires are starting to really hit their drop-off. Nadewell is just under that 25%, and I would assume that this tire, as our telemetry only shows the most worn tire, I would assume that is one of his rear tires, most likely his rear right. Vera sitting only about 20%, so still a couple of laps left for this first significant drop-off in this tire. Dirt Shark pitting off of this broken wing. We're going to have that replaced. Looks like he forgot to hit the yes, so he pit and did not replace his front wing, so he's going to have to come back and do that again later. Nadewell losing a little bit more time to Avira, so Alex Carugo in the lead is definitely giving Avira a lot more help here. As we kind of see, Nadewell hits that 25% threshold of that medium tire, and he's starting to lose a significant amount of time. And Alex Carugo actually breaking the toe of Avira. So we'll have to keep an eye on that interval between Avira and Nadewell. Even though these tires still are better. These hard tires are still better than these medium tires. Still the possibility of Nadewell catching Avira now that Avira is no longer being towed by his team. Kiwi doing a good job, actually has caught Nadewell. Now he is in the DRS of Nadewell as we go through this first DRS or DRS zone, and we have a yellow flag towards the back. Looks like an AlphaTauri of Aaron Green with half a front wing, and stars are going into the wall there also. So no safety car, no VSC. Now we see Dirt Shark pitting again. Looks like they're actually repairing his front wing now. So we are losing a lot of time to Alex Krugoat, flying off to into the distance now. Over a second and a half faster than Avira on that last lap, and Nadewell still a little bit slower than Avira also in the 47s. At the current moment, there's only one person within a DRS, within the DRS of another person. Stars actually crashing out. Is that going to give us a safety car? VSC, wow, really? Stars crashes out. See if we can see it. From Hetrasy as he goes through in the castle. Looks like a castle section incident. Surprising that doesn't cause a full safety car. Looks like he despawned before we got to him, but Stars looked like he crashed into the wall at the castle section. Crashes out, and it only causes a VSC, so no full safety car here. Big surprise. A lot of people pitting. Alex Krugoat going in. But Kiwi has decided to stay out. Nadewell has gone in. OG has gone in. Kaginis has gone in. Snoop Francis has gone in. A lot of people going in. And everyone's really spread out this race. D-Boy Simba getting a drive-through penalty. He exceeded his delta. Now that's going to hurt his race. He's in a really solid position. Even about P9 or 10 for everyone that's here. But we are green flags again. Ira is now about 8 seconds in front of Alex Krugoat, who has already pit. Long way to go on medium tires. We already see medium tires of Kiwi is sitting at 31%, so it's very possible that he can stretch those to the end. And not a lot of battling happening right now. These gaps are very, very large right now between basically every driver on the grid. Joel and Hetrasy and Snoop Francis are close enough to race each other with DRS. Give us our only action right now. Actually, Alex Krugoat already catching these fresh mediums, just showing a lot of pace. And we already saw Alex Krugoat was capable of a lot of pace before this race. Or before he pit for these fresh boots. Okay. Aaron Green, B-Boy Simba still on that drive-through penalty, so I would assume he will pit here to clear that. There he goes, crosses the line, but going in to serve that penalty. But we'll go back on with Joel as Hetrasy and Snoop Francis go into this DRS down the pit straight. Joel with a big amount of overspeed there. Going to pass Hetrasy before they even get to the DRS line. Easily going to blow by Snoop Francis, I would imagine. Snoop Francis kind of squeezing him towards the inside, but Joel getting by him. Back towards the back, actually. Dirt Shark overtaking Garrett Elder. Again, fresh tires compared to old tires. Going to be quite the difference. going to make quite the difference. But Joel puts himself back into the top 10. But a long way to go to catch Prati, who is about 2.7 seconds ahead of him right now. Francis doing a solid job sticking with Joel as he goes through this middle sector and into this castle section. Alex Krugoat on his way to taking the lead of this race. He was almost 4 seconds a lap faster than Avira on that lap. Fresh mediums versus old hards. Battle here. I think Hetrosy overtaken by, being overtaken by Dirt Shark. Snoop Francis actually getting back in front of Joel. This DRS, Joel looks like he's dumping his battery to try to hold the position. Looks like he's going to send it back on Snoop. No, he does not. He backs out going to turn 1, but they are catching Prati by just a little bit. We'll see. Will Joel, who kind of has a weird mid-corner moment there, is not going to be able to overtake, most unlikely he's going to be able to overtake Snoop going into this turn 3. Back up towards the lead, a little bit of racing between Alex Krugoat and Avira. For a second, Alex Krugoat took the lead, but he fell back a second, so it must have been some kind of odd battle there. But back towards here again, we outside of the top 2. This is the only little DRS battle we have. We see Hetrosy going really deep to the previous corner here, still on the back. Francis actually catching Prati in front. Madewell overtaking Chong. Madewell was able to catch him on these fresh hards. Now looking for Kiwi, but look at that delta, 6.3. Kiwi still has yet to pit, so Madewell's in a really solid position to potentially, he is currently net P2 as Alex Krugoat takes the lead of the race after having pit on these for these mediums a few laps before. Madewell is going to shave off the time. Looks like we have a McLaren out, so Joel actually crashes out. That causes a VSC also. Dirt Shark, okay, there's, Joel crashes in. Dirt Shark crashed into Joel. Joel crashes out. Our championship leader is currently out now. That causes a safety car. Dirt Shark with a 5-second time penalty. So that's going to squish our grid a lot. So Kiwi, who is under threat of potentially being overtaken by a car who had already pit, will now be able to pit and put some fresh tires on here in a moment. So a lot of this race is going to be equalized. That's probably a big thankful for anyone still watching this race, because these gaps were so big between everyone. Weren't really getting to see a lot of racing. Thank you, safety car gods, for giving us that one. Unfortunate for Joel is the one who loses out on this after having to pit for damage early on in the race. So Dirt Shark, who gained a 5-second time penalty. Looks like he put on his hards that he put on earlier when he tried to fix his front wing. Prati may have, like, he's going to be disqualified from the race. Looks like he may have disconnected or his game may have crashed. Prati likely not continue this race. So that's another person out. There it is. He's disqualified. Weirdness going on with the Mercedes in the pit lane there. Kiwi following them close behind. Did somebody get damaged? Alex Krugoat has no front wing, so he's double stacking and he has to fix his front wing. So Kiwi is going to jump in front of him. And potentially Nadewell. Nadewell might jump in front of him also, depending on how long this pit stop takes. So let's ride on board with him. Like he just left. Nope, Nadewell will come out right behind him. So with these gaps that we currently see on the mini-map, a lot of people pitting and coming out of the pits, it's going to be likely another 2 laps before we resume, so maybe not till the end of 15. How quickly these guys can catch with the safety car. Snoop Francis also put on an old set of hards, so both him and Dirt Shark on Dirt Shark's tires weren't that old. They are old, so I'll be curious to see if they pit again. Remember, we restarted the session, restarted the lobby for this session. One does have a bunch of fresh tires. Sitting on almost 13% tire wear. Just pit to these tires. Surprised if he decided not to pit. Well, looking at his. Okay, Snoop Francis actually has not pit behind time sheet. Ranger, this is the first safety car. We had one in the sprint, but this is actually the first safety car. Big surprise in the middle of the race where cars crashed out in the castle section. We got a VSC. Dirt Shark not electing to pit there. He sets a medium. His hards he's pit for or that he has put them on twice. Garrett Elder deciding to pit, likely go on to a quicker set of tires. So like I said, probably not until the end of 15. So Garrett Elder putting on mediums, but it puts him back to the back of the grid behind Hetrasy. Garrett Elder has used these mediums. He started the race on these. They're about 5.5%. So not a significant improvement for him. But looking at this, there's not a lot of hard to tell who is sitting on how many track limit warnings, because there's been a lot of bumping and grinding this race. So we're looking at Alex Carugo with 4 warnings, so I'm not sure how many of those are page that I have available to. 2 of those track limit. Yeah, we lost a few drivers in between Brent and one person with some technical difficulties and with some emergencies. Down to 15. Waiting on Garrett and Hetrasy to catch up to the safety car. Now they're going to be at an even more of a disadvantage than everyone else, as everyone else is still sitting between 2 and 3% tire wear. One who has new tires at least. Garrett is already up to almost 9% now. Curious if he's going to hit again, or if he's just going to try to drive up. Using battery, I would imagine he is going to. Let's see. Nope, he is staying out, but he's a lot of battery. He just wants to get this race going. And Garrett right now is sitting on the second oldest tires compared to Snoop Francis, which is all the way up to 16%. 6-lap old hards compared to relatively fresh hards for a lot of the drivers now. Will be at a disadvantage. Dirt Shark's has a little bit of a disadvantage, already over 10%. Vera and Kiwi are still under 3%. I see a nice little battle, but if you're on those fresher tires, did see earlier that the hard tires were beating these medium tires, but yeah, pace thing. Did see the safety car in on this lap. I would imagine it does not come in on this lap. We may see a few people dive into the pit lane with everyone with the rear of the train caught up. Should come in the second we get towards that sector 3 lines. A couple of corners, we should see that safety car in. As far as I can tell, no one has any damage right now. Hopefully nobody bumps into each other here. Garrett, some weird stuff with his throttle. See if Vera does not crash into the safety car, as I'm not going to tab out. So let's see. Here we'll be restarting the safety car here relatively soon. Yeah, Dirt Shark restart the race, find the VSC towards the start. Caught an incident that put him back down to P8. I also saw him restart the safety car during the sprint race, and him also almost losing the lead, so we'll see. This back straight this pit straight is so long, it's important you go at the right time, otherwise you'll have so much time to sit in your slipstream. They will overtake you going into turn 1, and Kiwi is right behind Avira. We'll sit on board with Avira from this angle to see when he decides to go. Let's see, second those brakes release, he's gone, so going really late here for Avira. Speeding up a little bit. Kind of a weird restart there for Avira. Maybe not the best restart. Let's see, Kiwi 2.6, Nadewell. Does Alex Krugo send it? No sending. A little bit of action back here with OG and Snoop Francis. So far, so good for everyone here. No damage in telemetry, so a clean restart for the safety car. Alex Krugo looking to make a move on Key here. Back towards the back, Garrett Elder actually getting past Hetcherson. And he's going to be at a big disadvantage for a while, as his medium tires are older than most people's on the grids. So far, so good for most people here. Yellow flag, looks like somebody went into the wall at the castle section. Who was it? Etchersey maybe? That's a safety car, so who actually, Dirt Shark actually crashed out back there in the corner before. That causes another safety car, so we may be seeing soft tires here with less than 10 laps to go when the safety car restarts. So that was quick for another safety car. For the most part, positions being held here. Not a lot of mixing, not a lot of movement there in our positions, as Garrett Elder made a move. I believe OG got in front of Snoop Francis. For the most part, that was it. Dirt Shark went into the wall, maybe forgot to brake or maybe involved in a crash there. But let's see, Avira is staying out on these mediums. Kiwi staying out on the hards. Alex Krugo staying out on the hards. Nobody pitting yet. We should see these people towards the back, like Garrett Elder should definitely be going in. Again, is staying out. Garrett Elder deciding to pit. Yep, best strategy here. Yeah, put on some softs maybe. So I was wrong. Only one person going in. So Garrett Elder is the only person going in. He's going to decide to put on his other medium tires and serve, and then forget to release his car. So 10 lap on mediums. Okay, he's doing the Duncan strat. We'll ride behind the safety car on the mediums, put on softs at the end of the next lap.
hope that the safety car goes around one more time. Look at our tires again. Garrett Elder on super old tires. You would not want to try to do the race on 50% worn medium tires compared to everyone else's. New Francis still on old hard, so he decided not to pit. I would imagine he would have another set of medium, not a set of softs. Elected to continue. Big thing for Avira now is he does get to save his tires a little bit longer, so he may still be able to win this race. We have shown a lot of pace from Alex Correa, gapping him on the race as they were both on the same strategy. This gives Avira an opportunity at that lead and save his tires for the end. But unless the safety car decides to go in now, it likely won't because Garrett is so far back. Usually doesn't after one lap. Moment. Car going around, so Garrett will absolutely pit at the end of this lap, but he will have a long, because it's taking him so long to catch back up with the grid, and use up a lot of those tires before we start the safety car. Someone else pit, so we see somebody else going to the pits. Was that Alex Carugo deciding to pit? So he's going to put on some soft tires also. Brett Kagen is pitting also, so he's thinking soft tires. Garrett Elder going to pit also for soft tires. Garrett Elder speeding into the pit lane. So, so much for his Duncan strat. That just basically ruins that for him. Oh, actually, Alex and again is putting on medium tires. So Garrett puts on the softs and then gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding. A little Ferrari Leclerc action here. Trying to be cheeky and then by speeding to the pit lane. Safety cars should come in this lap. Garrett just dumping his whole battery to catch up. Only person with the penalty as we move towards the restart of the safety car. Hopefully when we get to this final corner away, we should see that safety car coming in. Message. Garrett Elder with a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit. There it is, safety car in this lap, so Garrett's going to have to suck it up and deal with that penalty. Right on with the Vera again. We had less than a race of green flags before another safety car came out when Dirt Shark put it into the wall. That'll be no points for Aston Martin after scoring race win in the sprint. Avira looks like he's going early. Still half throttle. I'm not sure what this is. He's not slowing down this time. So probably going to go a little bit later, but he's going quite quick now. He's going to cause a little bit of an issue. Fine, as we're going side by side now. Now he is going. Big jump for Nadewell on Kiwi here. He's going to try to send it down the inside going into turn one. Is he going to make it stick? He may have gone a little bit wide there and maybe got a track limit warning, but Nadewell making that move. Stick going into turn two. Avira getting a nice little jump there. So now he's over a second ahead of them. So Nadewell, a lot of work to catch up with him now. Kiwi's still behind him, so Kiwi may try to make a move back on him. The back here, OG, I think, maybe making a move on Snoop Francis. I think he may have tapped the wall, but he's still okay. Or, excuse me, on Chonk. No, he did not send it on Chonk. Back towards the back, Garrett Elder side by side with Kagenis on those, both on fresh tires, but Garrett on these softs. Oh, Kagenis punts Hetrasy, but Hetrasy's able to keep it. But that does give the position to Garrett Elder. Garrett Elder going to send it on. Oh no! Garrett Elder and Hetrasy come together. Hetrasy Garrett falls back to the back of the grid. No, he's still in front of Hetrasy, but weird contact there between the two of them. Here running off into the sunset now. Back in front of here, Alex Carugo right behind Aaron Green in this AlphaTauri. Much fresher tires for him, so it shouldn't be too hard for him to make an overtake happen. Gonna send it into this corner. Leave Aaron Green a lot of room on the exit, but he overtakes him. Just big grip difference right now between the two of them. One more lap before our DRS reactivates here. Vera well outside that range to Nadewell right now. Kiwi within it right now. So we have a battle for P2 all the way down to P5. And what looks to be Alex Carugo leading this next train by overtaking Snoop Francis here going into turn 3. Garrett Elder, after that wonky collision with Hetrasy, back in the fight with Kagenis. Kagenis not getting a lot of work done with these fresh tires so far. The only thing he's really done is kind of tap the back of Hetrasy, but he has not overtaken anyone else so far, whereas Alex Carugo is dicing through the field right now. Here we go, as we go into lap 21, this will be the first lap after the safety car with DRS. We have a yellow flag back somewhere. I believe that's Snoop Francis going around in this, at the beginning of this third sector. It doesn't look like he has any, he has some wing. He have to pit here. A lag spike there. DRS now enabled. So Vera 1.2 seconds ahead of Nadewell. Nadewell has been dumping his battery just over 10%. Just over a second separating our top 4 drivers. Now OG will have DRS, and Garrett Elder getting by a couple of drivers there. Looks like Kagenis is ghosted. Not sure what happened there. Garrett Elder getting by both Kagenis and Aaron Green, but now like Kagenis may be trying to go back at him. Francis going into the runoff at turn 2. Kagenis, a little bit of a dicey exit there on throttle. Garrett Elder and Kagenis now 6.2 seconds behind Alex Carugo at 4P6. And again, Garrett with that 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pits. Back up towards the front, Nadewell so close to catching back up with Avira, but Avira doing a good job of holding that gap over 1 second. Chonk actually catching up with Keaton here, so now Chonk is within the DRS of Keaton. Will this DRS slingshot him into the DRS of Nadewell? Nadewell's going to have DRS on Avira here, barring any kind of separation here through these S's. Nadewell just dumping the battery, Avira dumping the battery. It's like Nadewell will not have DRS, but Chonk will, so Chonk's in a really good position. Kiwi is flashing. Kiwi has no battery left. Now Chonk and Alex Carugo will have DRS on Kiwi here. Kiwi is just a sitting duck for Chonk, as Chonk is going to go around the outside into turn 1. Now Alex Carugo, who did pit behind that safety car after it already bunched up, is all the way back up into P5 and just under 4 seconds behind Avira for the lead. Now looks like he's making a move on both of these drivers, almost going into the back of Kiwi, kind of tapping the wall. Excuse me, in the back of Chonk, tapping the wall as he overtakes Kiwi there. Big sin from him. Nadewell, who was so close to the DRS of Avira, just outside it again, all the way back up to 1.6 seconds, 1.7. Chonk now under threat of Alex Karugo. The rest of this grid basically defense that Avira will have for Alex Karugo and these fresh tires. See, go Kiwi building up a little bit of a gap to him and between him and OG at the moment. Looks like Kiwi have been spending a lot of battery. One thing we have noticed is that the battery recharge here is quite solid. The Nadewell seems to be closing that gap here in that middle sector, then losing it. Alex Karugo going really deep, trying to overtake Nadewell here, or excuse me, Chonk. But now Chonk is back in front, which is unfortunate because now Alex is going to have Slipstream and DRS. No chicken here, so Chonk is not going to have DRS. Alex is going to. We will have it also. OG also was able to get DRS. So Alex did clear them. So now 1.6 seconds for Alex to Nadewell. Kiwi and OG following close behind. OG actually losing the DRS after that pit straight. Honk and Kiwi battling now for P3 with Alex, but Alex on those fresher tires likely hold on to it, if not pull away from them on this lap. Nadewell has that gap back down to under a second and a half, so he can see Avira. He's just outside that range. Their battery is really close, but Alex Karugo is just flying right now. Right on board here with Nadewell. And have a solid middle sector here. Catch up with Avira, get in that DRS and fight him before Alex is there, because Alex is there right on his heels. He's inside that 1 second delta right now. Avira is dumping his battery. And Nadewell is in response now to Alex Karugo. Will have DRS on Nadewell, barring any kind of mistake here. Nadewell having no battery, trying to dump it to catch up with Avira. Chonk and Kiwi getting left in the dust right now. So Nadewell not able to catch up with Avira again, which means that Alex may overtake him going into turn one because he will have DRS. Back here towards the back, Kiwi with a really nice run on Chonk. So a battle for P4 here will overtake him easily. Will Alex send it into turn one? He will not. Nadewell still really close to Avira, but still outside that DRS. We have a yellow flag somewhere. I believe Avira. Oh, that was Avira who spun on his own. Avira was in the lead of the race all by himself and spun going through turn one. Oh no, he was in such a good position to fight for the win here, and in the second to last lap, he is now behind Garrett Elder for P8. So Joel, who is our championship leader with Avira close behind, now smiling after crashing out earlier in this race, seeing Avira fall down the order with just a couple of laps to go. I'm sorry, it's 24 of 26, not the second lap, third lap to go. Third to last lap to go. So now, just with the tire situation, it looks like Alex Karugo will be our race winner, barring anything wild here. We have seen that his pace with these new tires well ahead of everyone else right now. The battle for this last podium spot between Kiwi and Chonk is still alive. I've already seen them trade the position a couple of times. Kiwi over here under 10%, Chonk just under 30%, excuse me. We'll see how this goes. I'm assuming Chonk will likely overtake again going into lap 25. 7/10 is a long way to go, but on such a long straight. Ahead of them, Alex Karugo is getting by Nadewell there with that DRS and that really long slipstream. So impressive here if Nadewell can stick with Alex in the DRS through the end of this lap. Honk not getting in front of Keith, did use a little bit of battery, so not in that much better position. Then Dewey trying to just break the toe there, moving over a little bit defensively, going to his left. The other issue for Vera is that Vera is on those old medium tires, fighting with Garrett, who is likely on similarly worn tires. So not going to be much of an advantage now after 7 laps. Nadewell, as we see, already losing that 1 second gap to Alex Caruso. He's still back within it, so we'll see at the end of this lap. But the primary battle right now is for P3 between P and Chong. Ooh, Chong having a big slide there on the exit. Gonna have to use a little bit of battery here to catch back up with Kiwi. Kiwi not having the greatest exit himself. Chong is back in the fight. Jared Elder actually throwing that gap to Vera. Vera, as far as I know, has no wing damage. Chong, big mistake going through that middle sector into this final lap, and may just be outside of DRS. We'll see. He's dumping a little bit of battery. He's under 1 second here. It looks like he will have DRS, but he's 8/10 back, so he's a 10th and a half more than he was on the last lap. Right to Kiwi. Kiwi doing some weird weaving here. Now looking at these battery, Kiwi 10%, Chong 10%. So it's just gonna be a battle between who can get the best exits here. So Kiwi trying not to give him the best toe, not sticking to the ideal line here. Bit of a lag there. Hopefully me there. Hopefully doesn't impact things too much. Only real battle happening here with Avira close to Garrett. He is going to overtake Garrett with that because Garrett does have a 5-second time penalty. Chonk really close to Kiwi, going through this middle sector for the final time in this race. Let's see, Chonk built up about 22% battery. Kiwi actually using battery here, which is a little bit questionable. Right on board with Chonk. Chonk, who's about 6/10 behind Kiwi here. Kiwi dumping his whole battery before they even get on the straight. So now Kiwi has 0 battery. Chonk at 5% battery. Oh no, Kiwi may have used his battery too soon. Look at this slipstream, the weaving from Kiwi. Will he have enough? No, actually, Chonk didn't even get really close. So 2.5 tenths for Chonk, and Kiwi with his 3rd podium of the season, finishing behind Alex Krugode and Nadewell. Jared Elder with that 5-second time penalty does put him behind Avira. Elder crashing out. I think he crashed into against car who was stopped on track. Etrusy finishing behind him. B-Boy Simba and Snoop was again on the lead lap, close to being lapped, so a long way to go before he actually finishes this race. So that is the finishing order of this race. Dirt Shark crashing out, causing a safety car with about 12 laps to go, excuse me. Goal crashing out on his own. Brady being disqualified for looks like his game just crashed. Right on board with Francis as he comes around to finish this race.
Alex though winning solid margin with Nadewell behind him. Kiwi with his third podium of the season. Alex Kruger with the fastest lap as well. Brent Winter not finishing the primary race. Put up our finish order there for everyone. Look at this.
Oh.
And in P3 for his third podium of the season, we have Kiwi taking third place at a random track at Azerbaijan. How do you feel, Kiwi?
It feels nice. Yeah, it's definitely a chaotic race with was it the 2, 3 safety cars? I don't know, but yeah, it was a tough one.
Was now we we haven't put Azerbaijan on our schedule just because it doesn't seem like the best track. But when we rolled it for the random race, what were you thinking?
I I was a bit nervous, I would say. I think Baku is one of the tracks I have the least amount of practice on, so I was right as the track was announced, I was right on that practice, but I think it turned out pretty well overall.
Yep. And one thing that this does is we had both the Vera fall out of the lead and we had Gold crash out. So this kind of moves you up in the championship standing. Potentially will keep you kind of close to where they were, if not moving them front. But with your third podium out of 5 races, you think you might actually have an outside shot at winning the championship for our division?
I mean, maybe if was it? If Vera and Joel kind of been it a few times, if I'm lucky, but we'll have to see in the next upcoming races.
Well, Kiwi, next week we have Australia. Have you done any practice for?
I've done like a little bit of practice, but I'm gonna have to kind of see how I feel. But right now, looks like I'm gonna be struggling a little bit, maybe. But I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, Kiwi, congratulations on your and again your third podium this. I look forward to. Have a good night.
All right, you too. All right, thank you.
And then in the Alfa Romeo filling in for Alfa Romeo, we have Nadewell, I believe, first or for their first podium. Nadewell, how do you feel?
Pretty amazing. I I started on a normal spot, let's say, but then I managed to work my way up in the race. With amazing engineering by Ahmed. He was on it all in every single corner. He just gave me what I needed to do, and yeah, it was pretty amazing.
All right, so Nadewell, there was a couple of times towards you're watching after that safety car restart where you kept closing that gap up to Avira, not quite getting into DRS and falling back again. How confident were you that you were able to catch him before the end of that race? Because you were just getting closer and closer, even not close enough to be in DRS. I think the second you finally caught up with him, he made a mistake and spun out. So, what were you thinking when you were trying to catch him towards the end there?
Um, I was starting from the restart. I was like, let's see what I can pull out. This is either podium or in the wall, one of the two. um, and I started closing on Ariera. We were matching on we were on really similar pace. But he had a little bit of an edge and more of the start that I had to overtake Kiwi, I think, or one of the Alpha Tauris, I believe. So it made me lose a little bit of time there. But then I started catching up to him, and when he made a little mistake, I did a little mistake. So we were just trading corner by corner. Um, and I think I was like, okay, even if I cannot catch up to him. Maybe I can put the pressure on and get a lucky one in, and get into the RS. And yeah, that happened. So unfortunate for him because he was doing a mega race too.
Really was. Um, yeah. So Naywell, that was P2 again. Congratulations on that finish, man. We'll see you around whenever you decide to reserve again. Thanks for racing with us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It was pretty cool.
All right, man. Well, welcome to our league, and we enjoy, getting to know you and things. Have a good night, man.
Good night to you too, man. Thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes it. I don't think we can get Alex to call. He said he wasn't able to join. I'm not really sure I'm trying to mess with the perms right now. It's a little bit difficult, so we'll just kind of call it for tonight. So sorry to Alex there for no interview, but thank you for driving with us tonight, and thanks everyone for sticking with us that for 2 hour session, Azerbaijan. So, well, I hope everyone has a nice evening. That concludes our round 5. Come back, join us next Saturday when Division 2 takes on Australia for the beginning of the second half of our final season on F123. Have a good night, everyone.